What's up? It's your girl Brandy is back. First, I want to say Happy New Year. I'm so excited for 2024 and all that the business has in store. You all are going to be coming along the journey as you all have already been doing. But I'm just excited. There's a lot of new things that'll be rolling out that have been being worked on behind the scenes all of 2023, and I must say it was very difficult. It was very trying. It was very exhausting. It was just a lot of things in 2023 with the business. But I'm so happy to say that EBB is still here, still pushing forward, still making progress, and still just excited to always be your number one business hub. Okay, so now that we've said all of that, I want to talk a little bit about systems. Yes, business systems and how important they are for entrepreneurs and just for companies in general. I wouldn't even say entrepreneurs. I think that systems are just important in general. I mean, you think of something as simple as the email systems. What someone does when you bring on employees, how do they set up their email? How do you go about responding to emails? Do you have a signature on your email? There's so many things that you have to think about when you think about systems for a business. And I think that the reason why that's the first thing that I want to start with in a new year, in January, in quarter 1, and just making sure that all of the systems are in place, and not just that systems are in place, but that they are effective. You know, you don't want to have a system, say for instance, you have a system that pretty much details how you go about fulfilling orders for merchandise, right? So you have it very basic, very like this, but then you skip out on very important steps. So when you want to bring someone else into the business to take over that task, you don't have a system in place. So you find yourself having to pretty much go back and forth with the person that you hired to take on that task for you, because you don't have a complete system. You don't have something that tells them exactly what to do from receiving an order from a client all the way to sending a thank you for your purchase. We hope you shop with us again once they have received their order. So I just think that systems is the number one thing that I am focusing on for EBB in 2024. I mean, I want systems in place for every single task that has to be done in this business, every single task. And don't get me wrong, there are systems that have already been created that we did create along the way in the business. But I still just feel like there's so many systems that were not in place and that are still not in place, or that just are not effective. So it pretty much has got us to where we are now. So I say all that to say that I definitely intend on expanding the business in 2024. By the end of 2024, we're still, of course, just starting off a new year in quarter 1. So there's specific goals that I have set in place for the business for quarter 1 specifically that have to be accomplished. But systems, number one, literally having systems that work so that you don't have to do all the extra work. You know, when you don't have systems, you have to either figure out what has to be done, you got to get online and research what needs to be done, or you just have a lot of these missing loopholes when it's time to do something because you don't have a system in place. So once you have those systems in place, you then can be more effective in the business, and then it gives you more time, of course, to focus on other things because you're not wasting time doing tasks that you don't have systems in place for. Something that I think is very important in a system that I think all businesses should have, no matter what type of business that you have, is an email system. Like an email system in like what your introductions are when you're reaching out to new clients, what your introduction is when you're reaching out to a possible investor, what your introduction should be when you're reaching out to a friend, a colleague. Like, I think that it is very important to have an email system in place because it'll save you so much time, and it also allows for you to be very uniform in your communications with people. So you're not randomly emailing things to people that are not succinct, if that makes sense. You want to be uniform, you want to present the brand, which is also what is being presented when you are sending out emails to people, regardless of who it is. You want to present the brand in a very uniform way. So I think having systems in place, even templates for emails, having email templates, having a signature. I see so many people that we've done business with that don't even have signatures on their email, and I think that's important. It's, you go to an email or you're trying to find information for somebody, and then you realize they don't even have a signature on their email. So now you're searching, trying to figure out their phone number. You're trying to figure out what their company website is. It's just certain things that should be in place. And that also comes back to your branding, your business branding, and how you want your brand to show up when you do communicate with people, and when others tell people how they've communicated with you or how your brand shows up for them. So I think a really, really important system is an email system. Having templates for your emails with whoever they may be, having a signature on your email address. Also, I think for emails, it's important to even have dedicated times of when you're sending emails out. Obviously, you may not always be able to stick to those times. Sometimes you may work earlier, sometimes you may work later, sometimes you may not work as much on this day, so you weren't able to send emails out at that same time on that day that you did the previous week. But it's almost like, I think us as entrepreneurs, sometimes we forget that we're working to build a brand. Even if it's a small business, we're working towards a ultimate goal. And if you say you want your business to be a $1 million company, or you want it to grow into a big business, to have certain people that you do sponsorships with and things of that nature, you have to act as if you are like those companies. So being able to just kind of set your email up as a, what you would do when you go to your corporate position from a 9 to 5. When you come into work every day, when I go into my law firm job every day, the first thing I'm doing is checking emails. I'm checking my emails and responding to emails. Now, sometimes you do have to constantly be on your email, but sometimes you don't. Sometimes you may just create tasks, or you may do other things so that you're not constantly just on the email all day, every day, just refreshing it, waiting for emails to come in. But I do think that it's important to have specific time frames throughout the day, especially Monday through Friday, where you are responsive to your emails. That's something that I have not always done really good with in the business in particular, just because of all the other things that be going on. But I'm being very intentional. That is the word of the year for me. I'm being very intentional about doing that now. And so just making sure that the email is checked every single day, at least once, maybe twice, maybe even 3 times sometimes, just to make sure that you're not missing out on any opportunities, and that you're just being responsive in a timely manner. So I think that's very important as well when it comes to your email and systems. And then also, what I think is really, really good with email systems is to have folders. Create folders where you can separate certain emails. Of course, there's always going to be spam emails, so you want to separate those. You want to move those out of the priority emails because they're obviously not important. So, creating folders for different contacts, maybe creating folders for your banking contacts, for the finances, maybe creating a separate folder for your marketing, just different areas within the business where you have constant communications with people. I think that it's important to create folders so that you're not always constantly searching through the email looking for stuff, because that kind of becomes a lot sometimes too. So that's what I want to share with you all today about systems. I'm excited to be just like refresh in the business into a new year. It's very exciting. You know, when the new year starts, you always have these grand goals and you're just pumped up and excited about doing them and getting to them. But for me, I'm being very intentional throughout the entire year, which, I mean, not to say I don't always do that, but I don't want to just create a huge goal at the beginning of the year for the new year and then kind of struggle with actually succeeding or reaching the goal because you just set something outrageous for the entire year instead of breaking down things. So I think that what I am doing, well, not even I think, what I'm doing is quarterly goals for the business instead, because I think that that makes more sense and it's also more attainable. So quarter one, January specifically, but quarter one, we are working on systems. We are getting systems down pat. I mean, there will be a system for everything in this business. So I hope that y'all enjoyed the video. I hope that it was very informative for you all. If you are not subscribed to EBB on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow us on all the social media sites. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, of course we're on YouTube. Subscribe. We're also on TikTok, and then on Facebook we have a page and a group. So feel free to go and promote your business all in the public group that we have. You just have to join and become a member, but once you do that, you can freely promote your business. So all of those things will be linked in the description below. If you're not following us on Instagram and all of our social media accounts, go follow us, okay? Thank y'all so much for tuning into the video, and I will see you guys on another video. Hopefully these tips have been informative for you, because they are definitely informative for us. Bye y'all.